I am crafted by refugees. I am crafted by Chiu and Hui Dao. My grandfather, Chiu Dao, served as a major in the South Vietnamese military. During the fall of the Vietnamese capital of Saigon in April 1975, there was chaos as North Vietnamese troops were closing in. The United States ordered the immediate evacuation of U.S. personnel and several thousand South Vietnamese military families. My grandmother, Hui Dao, and her 6 kids were allowed to evacuate with the U.S. troops, but my grandfather stayed back and believed he would never see his family again. Later, he was able to escape with other troops after the collapse, but bounced around refugee camps, separated from his family, until they were eventually reunited at Fort Chaffee in Arkansas. Now reunited in America, they were forced to start a new life with barely any knowledge of the language or land.
The swift fall of Saigon in 1975 signaled the end of America's failed military intervention in Southeast Asia. Still, it only marked the beginning of what would become one of the largest and most protracted refugee crises in history. Over the next 2 decades, more than 3 million people fled Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. More than 2.5 million refugees were eventually resettled worldwide, including more than 1 million in the United States. The Southeast Asian Diaspora Project is a capability-building community organization on a mission to be an accessible creative hub that provides streamlined workshops and tools to engage and share knowledge in Viet, Lao, Khmer, and Hmong diaspora communities. Through safe and welcoming spaces, they hope to grow empowerment to plant the seeds of hope and possibility, locally and globally. The SEED project started in 2011 with the vision of a group of Southeast Asians who wanted to not only connect with their roots and heritage, but to think bigger and beyond preservation. SEED's vision is to grow social empowerment ecosystems through cultural assets and creative community building for, by, and with Southeast Asian diaspora. We had the opportunity to interview Jessica Eckerstorfer, who works directly with SEED.
So my name is Jessica Eckerstorfer. I go by Jess. I use she and her pronouns, and I am the co-director focusing on programs and operations here at SEED. This is the first organization where I've been able to come to work fully as myself. Representation on our board and staff is 100% Southeast Asian. We are run for and by our people. Language program, as you had mentioned, happened twice a year. For 8 weeks, students can learn the language, but from a heritage perspective. We want people who are from and of the community to be able to connect to their ancestors and their elders through language and through learning about their people.
We had the opportunity to interview one of SEED's language workshop students, Amanda Vo.
Hi, my name is Amanda Vo. I use pronouns like she and they, and I am a second-generation Vietnamese American. I think the SEED language workshop has personally impacted me by trying to put myself in the shoes of my parents and grandparents that came to America when they didn't know English. I struggled so much with Vietnamese, even though I've heard it growing up with my family, but just imagining what they had to go through learning English with barely any support, that was an emphasis in our class, kind of that heritage-based learning of learning back to your roots and kind of empathizing with your ancestors.
Our second program is our storytelling initiative, which takes multi-generational stories and histories and allows us to create narratives around them so that people can hear stories both from the past and from current modern day. Third program is our Sea Change Lab. We bring in different mentors, different professionals to lead workshops for these 16 youths, and then at the end they do a collaborative project kind of based on their time in the cohort.
It was very chaotic and unpredictable for many coming to the United States, yet many were determined to leave the harsh conditions of Vietnam in exchange for land and opportunity in their soon-to-be new world. With prior knowledge of sacrificing familiar lifestyles and family, many carry their broken hearts and memories into a new life. That is why organizations like SEED are essential to provide a sense of community, celebrate traditions to pass down to generations, and create a home away from home. Together, diaspora refugees can continue the legacy by honoring their ancestors, contributing to American culture, and inspire others as they exemplify resilience, perseverance, and determination with the support of SEED by their side.